Geometry Products video training. I'm going to do calibration on the pH now on a W600. So we did the calibration on conductivity, and conductivity 1 points, I don't mind it so much. You know, you're really kind of just telling you didn't show it where a 0 is unless you do the open air 0, which we did show you on that one. But it is linear, so 0 and 400 does have a slope to it. pH way more necessary to make that slope predominant. You want to make sure and give it a proper slope. So that's why they recommend a 2-point calibration. And you really should do a 2-point calibration to the side of the pH, which you normally are on. Say if it's always a little acidic, you would be below 7 in a normal fashion. So you really should do 4 and 7. Sorry, I got my finger over it. If you were normally caustic or above it, you don't want to do, not 4, you don't want to do 7 and 10. Okay, so I'm going to do one that's 7 and 10. Just because that's what I want to do. All right, so I'm going to put 10 in here, which is the blue solution. I'm going to take the 7, put the 7 in here. Now my solutions, of course, are for these video trainings and for my repairs and stuff like that. So they're a little bit tainted. They're probably not as clear as they should be, but they're pretty close. Okay, so I got myself 7 and 10. And make sure that I get everything 7, 10. And I'm going to go into my inputs, pH. Okay, I'm going to do my calibration. Now in calibration, they do allow you to do a 1-point process or a 1-point buffer. Still, again, I don't really recommend them because even if you're just doing a 1-point process and you're telling this is 8 all the time, it's not fixing the 0. It's not putting the slope in there properly. You really should do the 2-point. Okay, it can. If you're in a pinch, I definitely tell you to do it. If you're doing pH and you're going to a place that has pH, please have 2. Okay, so I'm going to do a 2-point calibration. I'm going to disable the control so that I don't want it to do any differences here. I'm going to tell it that the buffer temp solution is 77 because this doesn't have a temperature portion of it. We saw earlier that it's about 73 degrees. So I'm going to just change that to a little bit. I'm going to put in the first value is 7. Okay. Actually, it's going to tell me in here, remove it from the thing. And I have it in my little custom T again. There we go. And put it in my 7. When I do its auto calibration, I'm about -8 millivolts, so it's 7 really on a pH sensor is about 0. Okay, so that's why it was telling me that. Okay, it looks like it came back, it accepted that. So my second temperature buffer is still 73. I'm going to say okay. My second buffer though is 10. Am I telling it? Okay. Take it out. I'm going to rinse it a little bit. Then I put it in the 10. I have to check. Now it tells me to do what I just did. Okay, and you see -10 or a high pH or negative numbers, or a negative numbers, and then a low pH or positive numbers. Save the calibration. You see the gain and the offset. So now it's trying to set the slope. Calibrations are good. Okay, return it to the process. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to tell it inputs. That way just my pH shows up on there and you can see that it says 9 right now. And it should drop down to 7. There you go. Okay. I'm going to take it out of the 7, rinse it a little bit, and put it in the 10. Okay. Everything's good. Okay. So I do recommend, if you guys call and stuff like that, I recommend you use some of these teas. I modified some of the teas just so they fit into the beakers, they fit in the cans. I will cut one up for you and send it over to you just so you don't let the sensor sit on the bottom of the cup. Never want to do that. That's just going to give you a false reading. Okay? I'm going to come back to home, go to input, and those two are calibrated.